I'm disappointed in everything that's happening.
Turmoil in the town.
I'm tired of going and seeing crimes, tired of seeing people get shot.
From violent crime to the FBI raids.
That you just cannot catch a break.
Fear and frustration.
She's not going to be able to have time to address the issues like homelessness and the things that we need and would like to see happen in Oakland.
And demands for answers.
We want to making sure we can, get this all over with, because right now our city would need leadership.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
Well, things were already tough enough in Oakland. Crime, losing the A's, the recall effort, and then the FBI raided the mayor's home. It's all taken a toll, and the community is caught in the crosshairs. Today, we're asking what needs to be done to turn things around. We'll talk with longtime pastor Bishop Bob Jackson, who has seen Oakland change over the years, in just a few minutes. But first, a look at your news headlines. San Jose police say a suspected gang member shot a man and his wife inside their car. This happened back in March on McLaughlin Avenue. Police arrested this man, 29-year-old Salvador Rodriguez. The couple survived. Crews are getting the upper hand on a 20-acre fire near the Altamont Pass by Grant Line Road. This is time-lapse video from the alert wildfire cameras. CAL FIRE says they have stopped forward progress. That fire is 60% contained. And a heads up for BART commuters. The red line is still out of service for emergency track repairs. A maintenance vehicle derailed near 19th Street this morning. BART riders traveling between Richmond and Millbrae have to transfer trains in Oakland at MacArthur and then take the yellow line. All stations, though, are still open. Political rivals in the San Francisco mayoral race are coming together to support a $400 million bond measure. Mayor London Breed and Supervisor Aaron Peskin say the money would go toward things like public safety and road repairs, as well as homeless shelters and hospitals. Mayor Breed needs support from at least 8 supervisors to get it on the November ballot. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District is cracking down on Tesla. The district says the company's Fremont factory has been cited more than 100 times for the release of chemicals related to its paint shop. The agency is ordering Tesla to clean up and prevent future releases or face even more fines. We have reached out to Tesla for a comment but have not heard back. And the Warriors unveiled a new uniform for next season. Shooting guard Brandon Pajemski tried it on for us. It's black and gray with hints of blue and gold. There's a blue line that runs through the jersey and shorts representing a sloping cable of the Bay Bridge. The uniform also includes a W that resembles a basketball net. All right, on to First Alert weather now, and triple-digit temperatures are back in the forecast. Meteorologist Jessica Birch has an eye on everything from our virtual views studio. Hey, Jess.
Let's start down in the Santa Clara Valley, where daytime highs today are only topping off in the 70s, and we have some 80s along the foothills near Los Gatos. Speaking of 80s, that's the case off into the East Bay, but that puts us about 10 degrees cooler than where we were at as we kicked off this work week. We almost hit the triple digits near Antioch, but today we're sitting in the 80s near Antioch. Beautiful weather this afternoon, but yes, a little bit breezy, actually very breezy along our coastline. We can see wind speeds anywhere up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour at times near San Francisco, about 20 mile per hour winds expected closer to areas like Antioch all the way over into Concord. Now, as we take a look at the next 7 days, well, better yet, the Climate Prediction Center is showing our next 6 to 10 day outlook with well above normal temperatures in the forecast. Now, this leads us up to 4th of July. So let's zoom out real fast. I want to show you what's happening in our 7-day forecast. There's a lot of changes right around the corner, and especially in our inland areas. Today, we're sitting in the 80s, 90s by Friday, triple digits as we head into early next week. So this is what we're keeping a close eye on. Our excessive heat risk map will start highlighting in a lot of bright colors off into the East Bay and down into the Santa Clara Valley with all that heat right around the corner.
Well, needless to say, it's been a tough week in Oakland, from the FBI raid at the mayor's house to budget negotiations that could lead to some major cuts in service for the city. Ann Makovic joins me now to get us up to speed on everything. Ann?
Yeah, a lot going on in Oakland. It was a very eventful week with the mayor basically disappearing from the public eye for several days after that FBI raid. But today she was in attendance at a meeting for the Metropolitan Transportation Commission in San Francisco. But we're told she actually left in the middle of the meeting without her belongings. Her aide came back to get them. They refused to speak to the media today. Back in Oakland, the city is dealing with a $177 million budget deficit and a proposal to bridge the gap that would slash millions from the police and fire department budgets. The Oakland City Council set to discuss that today and tomorrow. But in her prepared statements at a news conference on Monday, the mayor expressed confidence in the budget.
I will remain focused on supporting the City Council as they vote to pass a balanced budget this week. We will complete the transaction for the sale of the Coliseum property to the African American Sports Entertainment Group.
Yeah, so that deal is worth more than $100 million, which could essentially shore up this year's budget. But at this point, it's only an agreement. It is not set in stone.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit and maybe address the reason why the mayor didn't want to talk to us today.
Yes, that was pretty clear. She's refused to answer any questions since that FBI raid at her home last Thursday. Agents serving warrants at Thao's house in the city's Lincoln Heights neighborhood just before dawn. Mayor lives here with her partner. The feds have not said yet what they are looking for and why, but agents left with several boxes. In that same news conference on Monday, the mayor insisted that she would not step down.
I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I am your mayor, Mayor Sheng Thao. Thank you.
She also said she was not the target of that raid on her home, and it wasn't the only home raided that day. The FBI was also at a home on Viewcrest Court that is linked to Andy Duong. He's a businessman with some high-level political connections and a member of the family that owns Cal Waste Solutions. We also saw FBI and IRS agents taking boxes from Cal Waste Solutions office along the city's waterfront. That company did release this statement to us last week saying they're confident investigators will find nothing wrong or unlawful. But we have reached out to the Duong family multiple times since then and have not yet heard back, Liz.
Yeah, and as we wait for more information on the federal case, the political fallout continues, right?
Yes, that is certainly an aspect as those around her at City Hall continue to react. This week, her spokesperson, Frances Zamora, stepped down, as did her former lawyer, Tony Brass, who took the case and then dropped it after he was surprised by her news conference on Monday. Thao still hasn't announced who her new lawyer will be. And then there is that recall election looming, Liz mentioned, just 2 days before the FBI came knocking that qualified for the ballot. Recall supporters are rallying for her to step down, as is the Oakland NAACP, saying she cannot focus on the needs of the residents of Oakland, and that Thao's comments after the raid show that she is not ready to take accountability. So a lot of forces against the mayor right now, a lot of questions left unanswered. Of course, we're going to continue to bring the latest as this all unfolds.
Yeah, meanwhile, the community members are wondering what's happening to my city, who's going to lead it. And we didn't even mention the recall fight for the DA's office as well. It's not just the mayor's office that's under turmoil. The
issue on so many people's minds is public safety right now. We had the Juneteenth shooting last week, and that is, something at the forefront that affects their families.
No question. All right, Ann, thanks so much. All right, so how are people in Oakland feeling about all of this? Well, longtime Oakland pastor Bishop Bob Jackson joins us next to talk about what he is seeing in his city.
Really, I'm not sure who would be in the city if something.
Nearly 1 week after the FBI raids in Oakland, we're still waiting for answers about the nature of this investigation and what's next for Mayor Sheng Thao, whose home was part of it. Our Lauren Toms talked to Oakland voters to see how they feel about what's going on in their city.
I'm disappointed in everything that's happening.
John Janosko feels different about Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao these days. He tells us he supported Thao when she ran for mayor. He's been in Oakland most of his life and has experienced homelessness. And that's exactly what drew him to her candidacy.
And she based her campaign a little bit on being homeless, that she was unhoused for a little while and she had lived in her car and stuff with her kid. And I feel like she made some promises to the unhoused community that she didn't stick by.
But 18 months later, Janosko says the mayor isn't focusing on the issues he hoped she would.
Oh, it just makes me feel, sad in a sense, because I know that in her time now is spread really thinly. So that means she's not going to be able to have time to, address the issues like homelessness and the things that we need and would like to see happen in Oakland. But that's not our number one priority right now.
The FBI raids at the mayor's home came just a day after a mass shooting in the city. Late Wednesday, 14 people were shot at Lake Merritt, an issue other Oaklanders are worried about. Salika Thomas tells us she's been a victim of violence in Oakland herself, and in her view, the mayor's response was too little, too late.
It's very disheartening. It took 4 days to get a response. I'm tired of seeing crime. I'm tired of seeing people get shot. I had a gun put to my head before, when I was going through the drive-thru of Popeyes, and someone tried to rob me there.
Thomas is running for a city council seat in East Oakland on a platform that the city needs to boost police staffing.
We need to enforce law and order. That's what we need, because this is ridiculous. No one's safe out here. To cut police budgets in any kind of way is just, it's not right.
But for John, he's stuck between wanting the best for his city and hoping the best for the mayor. But he says he's tired of being let down.
We want everybody just to be able to live comfortably in Oakland and get resources and needs met.
Now, we also heard from an Oakland city leader and community leaders after the raid at the mayor's house. Those we spoke to said that they're worried about the direction that the city is heading.
But we want to making sure, we can, get this all over with, because right now our city would need a leadership.
I think with leadership, we can't allow it to become a distraction. We have to focus on what is in front of us right now.
Joining me live now is Bishop Bob Jackson, the senior pastor of Acts Full Gospel Church in Oakland. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, a lot going on in Oakland leadership in just the past few days. The FBI raids, changes to the mayor's staff and legal team. I'm just going to ask you point blank, what do you make of all of this? What's going on?
Well, it's what I told the governor a little bit ago. It's lawlessness, and public safety, again, has to be number one. And all of this is just a part of what we've been talking about for a long time now, it seems. And the situation is not getting better in the city of Oakland. It appears it's getting even worse. So we're at a loss. The people that I talk to here in the city of Oakland as to what to do. And majority are talking about we need to change leadership. We just need new leaders.
You mentioned you talked to the governor just a short time ago. Was he concerned about what's happening in Oakland?
He certainly was. That's why he sent the CHP and the California Highway Patrol, which has been doing a great job assisting our Oakland Police Department, because, again, we're understaffed. We don't have enough police officers actually to police the city. So lawlessness is just a name. It's just the order of the day. And I think the criminals know that they can do all kind of things and get away clean, because we don't have the police to police the city. They're sworn to protect and to serve the community, but when we don't have enough of them to protect and serve the community, then the community is just vulnerable. And that's the way I think most people that I talk to anyway, that's the way they feel about the city of Oakland right now.
Yeah, and that's definitely involved in the mayor's budget proposal. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But many of the folks speaking out against Mayor Thao have been her opposition in the past. How much of this, in your opinion, is politically motivated?
Well, I think all of it's politically motivated, as a matter of fact. And I think because when you're dealing with people, you're dealing with politics, and you just have to be able to know what's right and what's wrong, and the difference between the two. And so when you have leadership that's not really advancing what the community is calling for and asking for and been asking for, and not able to give the community those things that they're asking for, it's just sad. And it's just sad for Oaklanders who pay their taxes and whatnot, and who's lived here a long time and have known the city to be wonderful and wonderful to live in. Mm-hmm. And now to see it in the shape that it's in right now, it's just heartbreaking.
So do you think the mayor should be recalled?
I don't really want to be a part of that recall effort with the mayor, but I think the community has an opportunity now coming up to make a decision concerning the mayor and her leadership. I think it would be wise for the mayor to resign her position, as opposed to dragging the city through all of the things she has to go through personally to get her own personal life straightened out. We know when the FBI raids somebody's home and their office on top of it, we know they're not there to bring ice cream and cake. We know they had something going on that they're not disclosing. And why the cameras were there at 6:30 in the morning, some of the questions that she asked, I have no idea, but somebody knew something was happening. It's just that she didn't, neither did we. understand what's going on and still don't know what's going on. So it's just a mystery. We don't know how it's going to turn out. We don't know what's happening, but we know one thing. We're at a loss for leadership in the city of Oakland right now.
Yeah, there's also a recall campaign against the DA. You know, you're talking with folks in the community every day. What are they saying? Because there are issues that they are facing that are life and death that they're seeing in their neighborhoods every single day. Are they worried about all this?
Absolutely. They're worried about it. I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, I just got word this morning that one of our young men that work at the church and doing a wonderful job coming from the movies last night was shot. And just the grace of God, he wasn't killed. And he's a fine young man, just enjoying a night out at the movies, and on his way out of the movie theater, on his way home, he was shot. And just grace of God, he didn't die. So those are the kind of reports that we're getting in the city. Those are the things that are happening. The Juneteenth, supposed to have been a celebration for the freedom of African Americans in America, turned into a nightmare for people that were out trying to celebrate Juneteenth. I mean, just blow after blow after blow. And now the Hilton is leaving, and another one of the businesses leaving the city of Oakland, and it's just snowballing as far as it appears to me and the other people that I talk to. The violence and all of the things that are happening too much, too long, is just crippling our city to no end. And what's going to be done about it? It seems no one has a real answer. It's always something futuristic. We need something to happen now to do something about the condition of our city.
Now, earlier in this conversation, you talked about public safety. You talked about officers on the streets. What's your opinion about this budget proposal that supposedly will help solve the $177 million budget deficit, but it's also going to slash millions from the police and fire department budgets? Is that the right move?
I don't think so. And a lot of the people I talk to don't think so as well. The police department is sworn, again, I said it earlier, to protect and to serve the community. We don't feel protected, and we certainly don't feel like we're being served. Our issues are the same, bipping, breaking into our cars and whatnot, breaking into our homes, and shootings and whatnot and so forth. And it just seemed like it's going on and on. And don't mention the trash, and that we look like a third world country in Oakland right now. It's just horrible, the condition. I've never seen this city, and I've been here 79 years. I've never seen this city in the shape that it's in. It's just heartbreaking to me, I tell you. But no one seems to have an answer to the problem. So that means that leadership need to change, and we need to make sure that we get leaders that are going to come in here and have public safety as a priority, as opposed to other things that's going on in the city.
Bishop Bob Jackson, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, still ahead, after the recent raids and shootings, how Oakland is fighting comfort in community.
The Bay Area Events Calendar, brought to you by Broadway San Jose.
Here's what's happening in the Bay Area this weekend. Celebrate local wildlife at the 15th Martinez Beaver Festival, Saturday at Susana Park. And the free summer theater in the park tradition continues at the historic amphitheater in Berkeley's John Hinkle Park with Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing.
Suddenly, here am I, I'm flying.
Peter Pan has soared into San Jose. Experience this beloved musical in a new adaptation featuring iconic songs including I'm Flying, I Won't Grow Up, and Neverland. Get tickets now at BroadwaySanJose.com. The Bay Area event calendar is brought to you by Broadway San Jose.
While Oakland has seen its challenges recently, the community is finding ways to push forward. One example is the annual Lake Fest, held just days after the FBI raids and the gunfire on Juneteenth. Security was ramped up for the event, taking place in the same area where the shooting had just happened. Organizers say they were pleased with the turnout, with people waiting in line just outside just to get in. Each visitor had their bags checked by security. There had already been fencing planned for crowd control, and there were plenty of Oakland police officers circulating.
Just making sure that our officers are out here engaging with people and trying to just create that connection to understand that we're out here working with our community to make it safe.
Oakland people, Bay Area people, we get real protective over our spaces, and we have to come together.
Organizers said people are often hesitant to go out in Oakland these days, so it was important to put this together for the community. We'll be right back.
Stern Grove Festival presents a free concert with soul innovators Chicano Batman and electropop sensation Lido Pimienta. Sunday at 2. Stream or watch it live on kpix.com or Pix Plus.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, new questions facing the Supreme Court after a document about an undecided abortion case was briefly posted online today. The breach of protocol and what the case could mean for future abortion care. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up tonight at 5, see how a North Bay man is using cinema to reduce the stigma about a condition that impacts millions of Americans. He's this week's Bay Area Jefferson Award winner. Well, that story and much more with Ryan Yamamoto and myself coming up tonight at 5. And thank you so much for joining us for today's conversation about the state of Oakland and its leadership almost a week after those FBI raids. We'd love to hear what you think. Post your thoughts online using the hashtag KPIX. The CBS Evening News is next. Local news continues on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. I'll see you at 5.
To view more content like this, we've selected some videos we think you'll enjoy. And please make sure to like and click the link in the bottom left corner to subscribe.